Okay, so this is Google's newest Pixel. Well, their newest budget Pixel. This is the Google Pixel 6a, and this is the Google Pixel 6, one of their flagships from earlier this year. And I know what you're thinking, they kind of look similar, and that's because this is the new design language that Google chose going forward. And personally, I'm a big fan of this. But let's compare the two and see what's different between the two and whether this new $450 Pixel 6a is worth it over this $600 Pixel 6. Okay, so let's talk design and display first. In terms of its overall design, both looks pretty good in my opinion, and I'm really happy with that. They're moving towards this new design language, and like I said, I'm a big fan of it. The 6a is shorter and slightly more narrower than the Pixel 6, so that means the display is smaller too. The Pixel 6 features a 6.4 inch display, while the 6a packs a smaller 6.1 inch display. Both displays are still OLED, so colors and contrast looks amazing, and both feature a Full HD Plus resolution, but the big difference here is that the Pixel 6 features a 90Hz display, while the 6a packs a normal 60Hz display, which can look a little bit jittery, especially on Android, so in my opinion, this is a pretty big letdown here. But again, this is a $450 smartphone. Now, the 6a is also using Gorilla Glass 3 versus the more durable Victus Gorilla Glass on the Pixel 6. But yeah, that's another thing here, less durable on the 6a. Now, when you look at the back of the 6a, it is actually plastic and it does a pretty good job at mimicking, a real glass. Now, the sides are aluminum, which looks good and makes the phone more durable in my opinion. Now, both phones also pack stereo speakers, which sounds great on both phones, but the Pixel 6, in my opinion, sounds just a little bit more fuller and less tinny, if that makes any sense. Now, don't get me wrong, the 6a still sounds amazing and gets pretty loud and much better than other cheaper smartphones. Now, both phones do come in 3 different color options, but if you want more color options though, especially this, this see-through transparent style look on my Pixel 6, make sure to check out channel sponsor Dbrand so you can rock one of these for your phone or, your upcoming 6a. They make the best skins for all things tech, whether it's your Pixel phones, your PS5, your OnePlus, or your iPhone. They have a ton of different choices that you can choose from. So if you want to learn more about Dbrand, I'll leave a link down below that like button so you can check them out for yourself and that you can customize your tech devices and stand out from the rest. Again, I'll leave the link down below to Dbrand's website, and huge shout out again to Dbrand for sponsoring a portion of this video. Alright, now when it comes to its hardware, this is where it kind of gets interesting. Both phones are using the exact same Google Tensor processor. I don't believe that it's underclocked or anything like that on the Pixel 6a, so with this processor you can actually expect good performance, but it's really efficient as well when it comes to its battery life. Now, I will do a full review on the 6a, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that video. Now, besides the processor being the same, everything else about it is a bit different. You get 6 gigs of RAM on the 6a, whereas on the Pixel 6, you get 8 gigs of RAM. You can only get 128 gigs on the 6a, whereas on the Pixel 6, you can go up to 256 gigs. Now, you'll also get slightly bigger battery on the Pixel 6 at 4614 milliamp hours versus the 4410 milliamp hours on the 6a. And I do need to use the 6a just a little bit more to really figure out if it's worse or maybe better than the Pixel 6, but I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit better just because it's using a slightly smaller display. Oh, and another big thing that I think a lot of people are going to be upset about is the lack of wireless charging on the Pixel 6a. I'm not exactly sure why they chose to not have wireless charging here, but yeah, this is super disappointing. It's 2022. Every single smartphone should have this as standard by now. Now, when it comes to its cameras, both the 6a and Pixel 6 features a wide and ultra-wide camera, but there is a big difference between the two main shooters. Okay, so for the Pixel 6, you're getting a 50 megapixel sensor, which in my opinion is one of the best sensors on an Android phone at the moment in terms of photo quality. Maybe it's just Google's, computational photography, but yeah, all those photos that I've shot on the Pixel 6 have always looked great out of the camera, and I feel like I don't really need to edit them. And on the Pixel 6a, this is actually the same sensor that they've used on the Pixel 5, the Pixel 4, 3, and 2. So it's an older camera sensor at 12.2 megapixels, but like I said earlier, it's probably the computational photography from Pixel devices that just makes the photos look good. From my early impressions, I can't really tell the difference between the two cameras. The 6A might be a little less sharp or a little less lifelike compared to the Pixel 6, but overall, in terms of shooting experience and how the photos look from the samples that I took, I honestly can't tell the difference. Now, in low light, I could tell that the Pixel 6 does look slightly better. The white balance and focus seems to be more on point more often compared to the 6A, but besides that, the 6A can still hold its own here. Now, the second camera, the ultra wide camera, which I don't really use all that often, I believe they're the exact same sensor on both phones. And just like what I said about the regular wide camera, in daylight, I can't tell the difference. The post-processing that Google does to their photos is just so good that even a sensor from a phone that, was released 5-6 years ago can still keep up with, newer tech, which is kind of crazy. Now, in terms of videos, both can shoot up to 4K 60 using the main camera, which looks good. Although it's not the best video that I've seen on an Android device, I still think that Google and its Pixel line still needs to do something about their videos. But yeah, it's not far off from the very best from other Android phones, but I feel like the processing can be a bit better here for both phones. And I think that there are other phones that do better in terms of videos. All right, so to quickly wrap up this video, like I said earlier, I will make a full review on the 6A so that I can really figure out if it's worth it or not. As of right now, after using the phone for about 48 hours or so, and just from a spec sheet standpoint, the Pixel 6a at $450 sounds like a good price, but the lack of high refresh rate and wireless charging really is a bummer and something that is probably a deal breaker for a lot of people. Now, having used the Pixel 6 as my main Android device has been really enjoyable. I love the feel of stock Android, and the camera quality that the Pixel 6 brings to the table is just amazing. But yeah, as of right now, I just can't recommend the 6a until I really give it a go after a couple of weeks and switch out the SIM from the regular 6 to the 6a and see if my opinions have changed the more I use the phone. Anyways, that's been it for this quick video. I hope you all enjoy this quick comparison between the Pixel 6a and the Pixel 6. Maybe that's enough for you guys to make up your mind, but if not, I will have that video review done in just a couple of weeks, so stay tuned to the channel. I have a ton more smartphone content, smartphones that's sitting on the table next to me that I can't show you in this video. But yeah, stay tuned, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.